أهلا فيكم في الدرس الخامس or the fifth lesson in the Medina book series, and in this lesson we will study the جملة فعلية or the verbal sentence. We have studied the جملة اسمية previously. In fact, it was the first lesson in the second book, and جملة الاسمية is basically the جملة or the sentence that starts with an ism. And we studied the مبتدا and the خبر and all of that. And in this sentence we start the جملة فعلية or the sentence that starts with a فعل. So نعم. So for example, ذهب بلال. This is a classic example of جملة فعلية or the verbal sentence. جملة فعلية. And so uh, we're going to study the فاعل in this lesson. فاعل and مفعول به. So فاعل is basically the doer, or it's the active participle. So, or you can simply say the subject. So the fa'il or the subject or the doer is basically the person who does the fi'l, and the fa'il is always marfu. It's always in the marfu case. So for example, ذهب بلال. بلال, it has the dammatan, indicating that it's so fa'il. Fa'il can also be a pronoun. For example, usually the damir, usually the damir and all of that. Damir in the previous lessons, for example, ذهبوا. So the waw, or which indicates a jama'a or a group of people, this acts like a file in so نعم, the waw acts like a file. So for example, we have these two sentences. ذهب الطلاب. The students went. This is a جملة فعلية. And ذهب الطلاب يعني so ذهب الطلاب, this sentence is correct, and ذهب الطلاب, this sentence is incorrect, since it has فاعلان, and it has it has two fa'il, it has two doers, and since the waw of the ذهبوا is also a fa'il and طلاب is also a fa'il, so we can only have one fa'il. And a جملة اسمية will be different in the scenarios. For example, if we started with an ism like طلاب, so we said الطلاب, the students went. So الطلاب ذهبوا. So this is جملة اسمية since it started with an ism, and the الطلاب in this, so this is not a file anymore. And in this scenario, this is the مبتدا since it's the beginning, or the beginning يعني beginning word, and ذهبوا is خبر, and it completes the meaning of the word. And this is the فرق, or the difference between both of them. So for example, if we want to use it in a جملة فعلية, we're going to say ذهب الطلاب. But if we will use it in a جملة اسمية, then we're going to say الطلاب ذهبوا. And a file can be a ضمير. And the مفعول به is basically the object of the sentence. For example, رأيت حامدا. I saw Hamid. So we say that the file is in the مرفوع case, and the مفعول به is in the منصوب case. And there are different variations of mansubs. For example, مثنى or جمع سالم, or جمع سالم has a different kind of different, and it has a different mansub case. For example, the mansub case for the مثنى or جمع سالم, the una becomes ina. For example, muslimuna becomes muslimina, or muslim, and let's say there are two men. So if there are two men, we would normally say in the marfu case rajulani, but if it's it's in the mansub case, it will become rajulaini. So the variation of the يعني نعم, the variation of the mansub changes, يعني the way the mansub is form changes, but it is mansub. So for example, يعني to make things simple, we have studied that the mansub, the classic example of mansub is that it has a fatha or two fathas. So مفعول به is mansub, or the object. مفعول به is the object. So رأيت حامدا, I saw Hamid. It's the object. So since رأيت, so رأيت يعني the two is the subject in the scenario, or the fa'il in the scenario. I saw. So it's a damir, it's a hidden damir. So رأيت, it's the two is the fa'il, and حامدا is the مفعول به. And like we discussed that the fa'il can be a damir, so the maf'ul bihi can be a damir too. For example, رأيته وسألته. I saw him and I asked him. And another concept that we are going to study in this lesson is the iltiqa'u sakinain, or the combination of the two vowel layers. And so it and an example or the scenario in which this takes place is that when you have a tanween at the, of course, the tanween occurs at the end of the word, and the next word has a hamzatul wasl. So, for example, sharaba hamidun. So we pronounce it with a kasra, yani with the kasra type sound in between the two words. For example, sharaba hamidun ma. Sharaba hamidun ma. Sharaba hamidun ma. So we have that small I in between. For example, sa'ala bilalun ibnah. Bilalun ibnah. It has the kasr, and it has the kasra type sound in between. This is called the iltiqa' al-sakinain. And we have studied the af'al thulathiyya, or the three radical. We study that most verbs in Arabic have three radicals, or have three huruf, or have three letters. And these, so in the past tense, this is the formation of these verbs. So, for example, the first letter will have the fatha, the second letter will have a fatha or a kasra. So, for example, fahima is he understood, hafiza is he memorized, dakhala is he entered, dhahaba is he went out, he went. So, the first and third letters will have the fatha, and the second letter may have fatha or a kasra. So, we are going to start with the tahaddus. المدرس من فتح باب الفصل. من فتح. من is أداة الاستفهام. من فتح. فتح is open. باب is the مفعول به. من فتح باب الفصل. Who opened the door of the classroom, and this is a مضاف المضاف إليه. أنا فتحته. So we could have just said فتحته. أنا was an addition to that, an extra thing to that. أنا فتحته. باب is مذكر or masculine. أنا فتحته. I opened it. ومن فتح النوافذ. ومن فتح النوافذ. It has a كسرة. Sorry, it has a فتحة in the end. It's a مفعول به. ومن فتح النوافذ. And who opened the windows? أنا فتحتها. I opened it. المدرس. من كسر هذا المكتب. من كسر هذا المكتبة. يعني it has فتحة يعني. من كسر هذا المكتبة. Who broke this desk. أنت كسرته يا هاشم. Did you break it. أنت كسرته. أداة الاستفهام of يعني of questioning. أنت كسرته. Did you break it. لا إني ما كسرته. No, indeed I did not break it. This is جملة اسمية. لا إني ما كسرته. So ما is the nafi or the negation. We have studied that for ماضي or the فعل الماضي we negate with ما. المدرس. رجع زكريا وحمزة وعثمان من مكة. So ما شاء الله يعني this has all the exceptions of the classical أسماء يعني all of these are ممنوع من الصرف. مكة is ممنوع من الصرف since it's a prop and it has a تاء مربوطة. And Uthman is ممنوع من الصرف since it has its name with the noon or that type of ending. And Hamza is also ممنوع من الصرف since it has the تاء مربوطة and it's a proper and it's a masculine name with the تاء مربوطة. And Zakaria has the alif in the end, and we studied that if the verb has an alif in the end, it does not change its case. For example, America and Suisra, they do not change. Araja did Zakaria, Hamza, and Usman. Did Zakaria and Hamza and Usman return from Mecca? لا ما رجعوا. No, they did not return. Abbas, يا أستاذ, or teacher. يعني لا ما رجعوا يعني they did not return. عباس يا أستاذ oh teacher. خرج الطلاب الجدد خرج الطلاب الجدد وذهبوا إلى المدير. The new students went out and the new students went out of the class, I guess, يعني according to the context and ذهبوا and they went to the مدير or the headmaster. المدرس أفهمت الدرس أفهمت الدرس يا طلحة. Did you understand the lesson? أو طلحة نعم فهمته جيدا. Yes, I understood it very well. So did you understand the lesson, Talha? نعم فهمته جيدا. So جيد means good and this is مفعول به in this scenario. So جيدا it has the منصوب. It is منصوب. المدر sorry المدرس أكتبت الأجوبة يا فيصل. أكتبت did you write down the answers of فيصل. فيصل لا ما كتبتها. No, I did not write it down. المدرس لماذا؟ Why؟ فيصل لأنني ما فهمت الأسئلة. So المدرس is why فيصل لأنني because I ما فهمت do not understand the أسئلة the questions. المدرس حفظت sorry حفظت سورة الفجر يا إبراهيم. Did you memorize سورة الفجر أو إبراهيم؟ إبراهيم نعم حفظتها وحفظت سورة التين أيضا. أيضا يعني also or to. So المدرس asks, did you memorize سورة الفجر يا إبراهيم? Ibrahim says, نعم حفظت. Yes, I memorized it. وحفظت and I memorized سورة التين. And سورة التين, so Fajr basically means dawn and teen means fig. سورة التين أيضا means سورة التمارين أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. So basically the first two exercises remain the same. يعني one is answer the following questions, second is put the tick in front of the correct questions and put the cross in front of the incorrect questions. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية. Ponder over the following examples. This is basically an example of the فاعل المفعول به. عين الفاعل والمفعول به في الجمل الآتية. ضع خطا واحدا تحت الفاعل وخطين تحت المفعول به. So this basically says to put to underline with one line. So يعني to put one line under the فاعل and two lines in front under the مفعول به. For example كسر الطفل القلم. طفل is the فاعل قلم is the مفعول به. أكمل الجمل الآتية بكلمات مناسبة وضبطها بالشكل. يعني complete the following sentences and then read the sentences completely with every ضمة فتحة كسرة in the end or in between. يعني properly read the sentence aloud. اجعل كل من الكلمات الآتية مفعولا به واضبط آخرها. يعني make every one of the following words into a مفعول به and يعني يعني make every one of the following words into مفعول به and pronounce it with its ending. يعني they basically want you to practice and remember the fact that the مفعول به is منصوب or it has the فتحة. تأمل المثالين الآتيين. Ponder over the following examples which is basically the difference between الجملة الاسمية and الجملة الفعلية. قدم الفعل في الجمل الآتية كما هو موضح في المثال. And this basically means that put the فعل first like it's like it's made واضح or made clear in the example. So and if to make the translation simpler, they basically want you to convert the جملة اسمية which are these sentences into جملة فعلية or the verbal sentence. استعمل الأمثلة الآتية. Ponder the following examples. كون جملا مثل هذه المستعملة في الفعلين الواردين في كل تمرين مستعين بالكلمات التي بين قوسين. They basically want to make sentences using the two أفعال, two فعلين given, and also using the words in the brackets. كون جملة مستعملة للكلمات الآتية. Make a sentence using the following words. تأمل ما يلي. Ponder over the following الكلمات الجديدة, the new words.